俺は誰？本物はこの俺か、鏡の俺か。英語の最短な恐怖物語を聞いたことがあって、3つの言葉だけや。My reflection blinked.
Hey all, it's Nolan, and welcome back to... This hair is going to be here for the entire time. I am so sorry. The most disturbing films of all time! Today we're looking at the only film on the list that I would consider a favorite of mine and arguably the most mainstream, Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue is a 1997 Japanese animated psychological thriller produced and directed by the late anime legend Satoshi Kon. Based off the novel by Yoshikazu Takeuchi named Perfect Blue Complete Metamorphosis. The film follows Mima Kirigoe as she decides to change career paths from a pop idol to becoming an actress. Once she starts this career shift, Mima becomes surrounded by stalkers, threats, violence, and murder, ultimately causing her to spiral into depression and disassociation, questioning her own identity, all presented in ways that only animation can truly achieve.
I absolutely love this film. Perfect Blue is an incredible work of storytelling, and although my personal favorite film by the late great Satoshi Kon would probably be Millennium Actress, I think it's fair to say that Perfect Blue is his magnum opus. This is one of those movies where it's kind of hard to give a comprehensive review on it because everything is just so well done. Like, the only way to talk about the positives would basically be just to list every single aspect of what filmmaking is, and then say, yep, they did that one good. I will say that the character design and artistic style of this one can be kind of jarring because most all of these characters are kind of ugly compared to what you would think from anime. However, this is a good strength of the film because one, it adds a bit of realism, and two, it contrasts those ugly characters with the traditionally drawn Mima so that it really helps you understand that she is this absolutely gorgeous pop idol and actress. The music is phenomenal. The main theme that underscores the horror segments, called Virtual Mima, is just creepy, like, on its own, and it just really adds this tension and anxiety to the terrifying moments that are on screen. Now, Perfect Blue does have a twist at the very end, but they do their twist right. It's one of those films where you do not expect what's coming until it happens, but on a second watch, you'll realize it was there the whole time, and you'll be shocked you didn't catch it the first time around. This is a dense psychological thriller. The pacing transitions wildly from slow to frenetically quick, and much of what is happening is worked through fine details of dialogue and set design. This isn't a bad thing in and of itself, but what it does mean is that Perfect Blue is the kind of movie you have to be paying 110% attention to in order to actually understand everything that's going on. I've seen this film in both the original Japanese and in Manga Entertainment's English dub, and I do not want to get involved in the decades-long war of subs versus dubs that weeaboos have, and I also don't want to be overly critical of the English cast because they did a great job, but I found that this movie was a bit better to watch in Japanese. Particularly due to the fact that, one, Mima actually speaks in a pretty strong regional dialect in a couple scenes, and that's something that's not really translated well into the English version. Also, there's a scene where she's struggling to deal with how to use a computer, and the English version kind of paints it as if she's just absolutely clueless about everything, whereas you find out in the Japanese version it more has to do with her struggling to understand all of the new English vocabulary that comes with learning how to use a computer. This next topic I'm going to try to approach as charitably as possible. Okay, I could have been a bit more charitable. American filmmaker Darren Aronofsky has taken shots and whole plot points from Perfect Blue to use in some of his works such as Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan. In actuality, Aronofsky once owned the rights to make a live-action remake of Perfect Blue, but somehow that just never came to fruition, and so he took his appreciation of the film and his rights to the film in order to add those little bits of tribute and enjoyment into his other works. But hey, if you like Requiem for a Dream or Black Swan, then I can guarantee you will love Perfect Blue. Efrain here on YouTube has a great video where he dives deep into the similarities and all of the details on this subject. I highly recommend you watch it. I'll have the link in the description. It is in Spanish, but English captions are easily available, so check it out. So that leaves us with one last question. Yes. Perfect Blue has moments of intense violence and sexual assault, both of which can be very difficult to watch. Also, the psychological horror of this film is so powerfully done that you can easily end up after watching it having brief moments of just totally questioning your own reality. I absolutely recommend everyone watching this video to go watch Perfect Blue. Rather than whatever it is we might traditionally call disturbing, Perfect Blue is more of an unsettling psychological nightmare. Considering that this film is much more of a mainstream traditional horror compared to anything else on the list, even though I find it incredibly disturbing, I think it's fair to put it below Faces of Death on the disturbing films ranking list. So that was Perfect Blue. Now, here's the disturbing films list. As always, if there's anything on this list that you would like to see soon, or anything not on this list that you really think should be, then let me know in the comments below. And if you want to catch the next episode of The Most Disturbing Films of All Time, as soon as it comes out, make sure to hit subscribe. Next episode, we're going back to Japan, but this time we're going to look at a film that is so allegedly realistic, a Hollywood celebrity convinced the FBI to investigate it. Thanks for watching.